All right, algebra students, this is the playing catch-up activity we did today, and it's a good activity to work through yourself because it goes through how to represent this as a graph, how to represent it on a table, and how to use equations to represent it. So I really encourage you to watch the video, try all the activities yourself, and then come back and watch me work through the solutions. So you can watch the video yourself there. This one's a short one, so we'll watch this quickly. And so you see Rich back here struggling in his suit, and then you see Julio over here flying by. He's going much faster, even at half speed, than Rich. And so the whole idea is, are they going to catch up or not? Because Julio generally would destroy, but at half speed, maybe Rich can catch him. And you could sketch your own graph here. I want you to watch this. What I want you to keep in mind is that if you notice, Julio's graph starts right at the beginning. Rich's graph starts about a second and a half into it. This should remind you of the big race problems that we were doing earlier, where we had some people taking a time delay to start running, and others starting right at the beginning. Okay? And so it's really important to keep track of those different details as you work through this. If you want to make a prediction for when they're going to catch up with each other, I would suggest using the straight line tool and just extending Rich's straight line and extending Julio's straight line until they cross over. To me, it looks like they're going to hit right about here, so I would guess 35. The point where the lines cross is the solution to the system. You can also do it with a table, and I want you to notice here that Rich has 2 zeros in a row because he started later than Julio. And you can find the slope by just thinking about what is being added every time, and it looks like it's always adding by plus 4.8. So that's Julio's speed. Rich is going up by a different amount. He's going up by 6.2. That's Rich's speed. So we know Rich is going to catch up to Julio because he has a faster speed. You can go through and start adding in more rows as much as you want. You just got to keep adding 6.2, so 20.67, and adding 4.8 here. So what would that be? 24.0. And you can add as many rows as you want, just continuing to add 6.2, continuing to add 4.8. And eventually, they're going to come together. That's called solving by tables. The one I really wanted to show everybody was how to use the two equations. We've been practicing substitution. This is a perfect problem for substitution. I can substitute this version of the variable d for that version. And I have 6.2t minus 10.33 equals 4.8t. So let's get our letters to hang out on one side. So I go minus 6.2t, and I get negative 10.33 equals negative 1.4t. And this represents that initial gap. They were initially 10 yards apart, and the 1.4 represents how much faster Rich is than the half-speed Julio. So divide by negative 1.4, and we get 10.33 divided by 1.4. We get 7.38. That's the t value. That's how long it takes for Rich to catch up with Julio. But how far are they? That's where you substitute it back in to either one of your equations. So I'll substitute it in, 4.8 times 7.38. And I get the distance is approximately 35.4. Now I want to double check my answer, so I take those values and substitute it in to the other equation, 6.2 times 7.38 minus 10.33. And I get again, d is approximately 35.4. So the nice thing about this activity is it's kind of funny to watch Rich run so slow. But it's also a good way to reiterate the solving by tables is where the graphs cross. Solving by graphing is where the graphs cross. Solving by tables is where you just keep counting until the numbers match up. And solving with your equations, the method we've used so far, is substitution. So I'll make a couple more substitution example videos, and happy studying.